Hello, my name is Ryan Tinsley.
Hello, my name is Bo.
I'm Jordan Baum.
I'm Chris Bailey.
All right, let's go.
I think games are a very unique medium that merges a lot of different art forms and uniquely provides a very engaging platform for people to participate in.
It's just part of who I am. I mean, without gaming, I feel like I would be a different person.
I think there's a game out there for everyone. You get to experience a bunch of different worlds and a bunch of different stories, a bunch of different characters, you know. There are all these people pouring their heart and soul into creating an entire world, an entire immersive experience, all these characters and everything. Elaborate music, orchestras, everything and anything that you would put into one of those blockbuster movies that you see nowadays.
I've heard it said by a couple of people that video games are kind of like a fusion of a bunch of different genres, and that's what makes them so great and so entertaining. Is you've got cutscenes like movies put into the game. You've got music that can change the experience. Writing obviously is, in a lot of RPGs, there's a ton of writing. You write more for a lot of big RPGs than you would for just a novel, because you have to write dialogue for 1,000 different people that are going to be in the game, and yeah.
Yen, are you all right?
I'm splendid.
It's kind of like, you know, how you would watch a movie or read a book. Video games is basically just a different way to tell a story.
People usually see video games and they're like, oh, children play them. And typically that's true. I am a bit of a child. Like, I still wear backwards hats and stuff like that. And occasionally call my friends like Youngster Jack. So, yeah, that was a Pokemon reference.
Misunderstand video games, or you feel like they get a bad rap?
Yeah, all the time. I've heard so many people say that they're overly addicting or dangerous throughout my life. Had my parents tell me that they were a bad influence on me, or that I spent too much time playing them.
Like, despite people saying like, oh, like video games like hinders like being social, like that's not true at all, dude. I made so many friends through Call of Duty. Like, who I went to school with, like we would talk about it in school and then find out we played, and then we played together.
Check it out, Tyler!
Oh yeah!
Dude, are you kidding me? Wait.
You know death 9. You have 9.
I have the best death ratio out of all of you.
I got the most
no, that's out of everything. That's out of everything.
There are different outlets for creativity, and if you really enjoy that kind of stuff, enjoy art, enjoy stories, enjoy that kind of thing, it's a good idea to explore all of those outlets.
Both multiplayer and single-player experience. It's a way for people to communicate and connect. I think it provides a whole new area of long-distance friendship, because it's so difficult to continually maintain a friendship when you can't actually do anything very fun with someone other than just like call them and say, hey. But games create this sort of common culture and common experience that you can participate in even if you're not anywhere near someone. And then as far as like single player experience, it's just a new way to tell stories. It's a new way to engage people emotionally, a new way to create systems of meaning that will be understood for the rest of people's lives. Good example of this is Nintendo. Their brand has become such a intense presence in the world of gaming, in the world of popular culture, that all of the characters, even some of the most insignificant ones, have messages that you can read just on seeing them on maybe a shirt or an advertisement. You know who they are even if you don't play the games. It's immensely powerful. And it's unique to video games.
You'll always have people who are kind of stubborn or like, there's always people who are like, I don't like watching TV, or there's a bunch of people who are like, I don't like reading books. But I think if they actually tried it, if they went into it with an open mind, they'd find something that they can enjoy. I would personally say that anyone could like To the Moon, because it's more like a movie than a game almost, but yeah. But the difference is you're playing the characters. That's the reason why it hits you so hard, is because it's like when people have always said, man, I really want to live in Harry Potter. Well, that's what video games are. They let you live in Harry Potter's world for a little bit.
Do you feel like games are a waste of time?
No, not at all, because time enjoyed is not time wasted. For me, it's always just been like, not necessarily an escape, but a way to wind down, just because I feel like it's a therapy. So if I'm angry, I'll go play Limbo, or if I'm super angry, I'll go kick ass at Street Fighter for half a minute, and then I'll get my ass kicked in return. It'll backfire, and then I'll get angrier, and I'll just like lay in my bed and sulk in my self-loathing self. Yeah.
Well, I played video games my whole life. I was introduced to it by my cousin back in Vietnam.
Wow, that's cool.
It just kind of stuck. Like it's part of my childhood. You know, it's just some kid have different childhood than the other, and video game was just the biggest part of mine. You know, I always remember coming home and just sit down, and I don't even look at my homework. I just pop open that PS2 and just, you know, play it. And there's so much memories with it. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just part of who I am.
One thing I've always loved about the Final Fantasy series is its music. That is what I want to pursue. I want to pursue music. I want to pursue singing. You know, I'd always hear the music on Final Fantasy, and it was just Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. They have beautiful, beautiful music. That's something that's really inspired me in my pursuing music, is these video games. So, you know, like I said, you can take a whole bunch of different things from video games, their entire worlds, their entire art pieces.
The term gamer has kind of changed over the years. Originally it meant, you know, people who were super into games who only played like hardcore games, and now it's so nebulous. It kind of has lost its meaning because everyone has their phone, and most people have a game or two on their phone, so those people are technically gamers. They play video games. Just some of them play video games more than I do, because people get on Candy Crush or Bejeweled or Farmville and they'll play for hours, and I don't even have that much time to play the games I want to that much anymore. So
I don't know. I feel like it's a community of like sharing, typically, because like there's tons of different formats for games. Like there's so many. So like calling yourself a gamer is just like it's so broad. It can literally mean like anything. People who only play Call of Duty games are technically gamers. Or people who just play Dungeons and Dragons are technically gamers. It's so different. There's just a huge variety of people. So if you're into games like I am, which is like I'm super broad with video games and with board games and stuff like that, it stops being so like personal and starts being like a communal thing. Like you start like making friends off stuff like this, and you start like reaching out to different communities and people, just like, dude, like game night on this night at this comic shop or something like that. Like,
gamer is kind of it's an old term. To me, it means, you know, people who just enjoy video games. It's a larger culture than you realize, I think. And a lot of people wouldn't call themselves gamers when they probably are.
You know, I consider gaming to be a big part of me, and it's something that I really appreciate, and I consider it an art form.